Hey everybody, I'm Bede, aka the Terrible Australian of Super Podcast, and welcome to a new video log series that I'm doing just for myself. Now, usually when I do these type of video logs, it's either for uh, reviews like what I did for the Melbourne International Film Festival or blogathons with other film critics. But for this one, I'm doing something different, and this is one that I'm doing for myself, and it's one I've been thinking about doing for a while now, and that is a video log series on my DVD and Blu-ray collections. Now, I know a lot of film friends of mine, like AJ, EJ, and a few others, have been doing video logs on their own DVD and Blu-ray collections, and I decided to join the bandwagon and do one for myself because I'm a huge DVD and Blu-ray collector. So I just thought it'd be really fun to show you my collection, but most importantly, my latest purchases in particular. I've been wanting to do this series for a while now, as I said before, and I've only just gotten around to doing it just now. And so I have a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays to cover for this series. So I'm not going to do them. So I have a lot of purchases over the last 2 months that I've been meaning to talk about, but I'm not going to do them all for this first video. Instead, I'm just going to do them for a couple multiple videos over the next week or two, sort of to catch up and be up to date with everything. And after that, every occasional like update of my collection, I will do a video and post it here for all of you to see. So just to start off, like I said, I got 2 months worth of DVDs and Blu-rays to showcase. So let us begin with the first batch I bought over for this video. First up is I bought Patrick, which is the classic 1970s Australian horror movie, which recently got a remake, which I saw at the Melbourne International Film Festival, and you can actually check out my video review for that. And this is the 35th anniversary edition. Has quite a pretty cool features on it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I did really like this film. I thought it was really and it's sort of a really cool premise, with sort of a Kerry vibe to it. And Kerry was the main inspiration for this film, but it's also quite unique in its own way, and it's actually a pretty cool Australian horror film. Definitely one of the best ones that Australia has produced. And if you're a fan of Patrick, I definitely would recommend getting this, especially for a 35th anniversary edition. So, yeah, it's just an awesome movie, and I can't wait to check it out. Also, is From Here to Eternity, which I actually saw for the first time about 6 years ago, and this is a terrific film, absolutely terrific, and I could definitely see why it won all the Oscars and all that. And this is one I've been meaning to check out again for sure, and a couple cool features on it, and the film itself is really good. A lot of terrific performances, and particularly Frank Sinatra, who I thought was well deserved of his Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was really great in this film, and if you haven't seen this one, I definitely would recommend checking it out. And yeah, it's just a really great film. So that's that one. And right up next is Love Actually. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really love this film. I think it's a really enjoyable, really funny, very sweet, and at times moving romantic comedy. And it's a pretty much for me, it's one of my favorite romantic comedies. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's perfect. It can be a little cheesy at times, but it's a movie that wears its heart on its sleeve and embraces what it is. And I love the fact that it's a multiple character film. There's like so many. I'm not sure how many characters are in this film, but it features a huge all-star cast, and I really enjoyed it. And I can understand why a lot of people hate this movie, and I know a few critic friends of mine hate this film or didn't care for it at all. But I really enjoyed it, and to me, anything that's written, any romantic comedy, in my opinion, that's written by Richard Curtis is definitely is a must see for me. He knows the genre inside and out, and he knows how to make uh, really wonderful characters and great comedy drama. And I just really enjoyed this film. And this is the 10th anniversary edition because they sort of re-released this because I've been meaning to get this for a while. So, and this has a couple of new features on it, and I thought that'd be a good time to get this for sure. So, Love Actually, I guess you could say I love this movie actually. Okay, that was a terrible joke, but you can forgive me for that. Next up, a completely 180 in terms of romantic comedies is City of the Living Dead, which is a classic 1980s horror film made by Lucio Fulci. And this was released here in Australia under the Cinema Cult series, which is sort of releases a lot of sort of cult films and horror films and all that. I've as much as I really wanted to pick up some of these for the collection, but a lot of the Cinema Cult ones don't really have that much in terms of special features on them. So I prefer, and I'm a special features junkie, so that's why I haven't really bought one, but I bought much of them. But for this one, I made the exception because looking at the package that came with it, it is loaded with special features, couple of commentaries, and other cool special features. For some reason, it doesn't say it on the back that it has features on it, but but it did have a sleeve with it that said it had special features. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. And I'm sort of only just getting into Lucio Fulci's stuff. And of the 4 films that I've seen so far, this one is definitely my absolute favorite of his. I saw it a few years ago and I was very impressed by it, and it was creepy, unsettling, and it features some great gore. So that's one of the reasons why I picked this up. Next up, and this is a film I know my friend Marcy of Super Podcast fame is going to hate me for, but I don't care because I got Pain and Gain. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a Michael Bay apologist. I know the types of movies he makes, and you know what, I can just sit back and enjoy them for what they are. And for this one though, I can understand why a lot of people hate this one, because this one's definitely out of just like many other films last year. This one had a very divisive reaction when it came to it. Like I've seen a lot of people either put this on some of their worst of films of the year, and as well as some people putting it on their best films of the year. And I even know some people who don't even like Michael Bay actually saying that this is a great film, and I can understand why some people don't like the movie, because this is definitely his most un-PC film to date. But for me personally, that wasn't really much of a problem to me, because I kind of feel like all the things that people had issues with, I think, work in the context of the movie, because I mean, the film has really disgusting and despicable characters, and I think it only makes sense that the world around these characters reflect that. But like I said, so I took it on that, and of course, it's a really dark crime comedy that involves a real life murder. Some people took issue with that, and that a comedy shouldn't, a film shouldn't about a real life murders shouldn't be made into a comedy. But there have been other films like that that have done that. So I don't know why they seem to get a pass, but this one doesn't. But I think it takes the murders pretty seriously. But that's just my opinion though. But other than that, I think it's a really interesting film. Features a lot of great performances, and I think it's in my top 3 Michael Bay films. I think this is a truly great film since The Rock, and as well as his best since the first Transformers film. But I really like it. It's really dark. It's pretty messed up, and I just really dug it. Like I said, I can understand why some people hate it, but I don't know. I thought it was really good, and I was really impressed. So I know Marcy will bitch slap me later for buying that, but I know for a fact she'll be happy with this next Blu-ray that I purchased, which is Warm Bodies, which is a film that her sister produced, and I really enjoyed this film as well. I love zombie films, and I thought this was like a really interesting and fresh take on the genre, and by and I think anyone who thinks, oh, it's not just basically Twilight but with zombies, clearly hasn't seen the film. This film is totally not like that at all. It's it's really fun. It's really funny. It's very sweet. It's very well acted. Nicholas Hoult does a great job in the lead role as R, the zombie, and of course, Teresa Palmer is in it as well, and she's really good as well. And I just think it's really good. And of course, when you have Jonathan Levine, who directed the films, the Whackness, and 50-50, you're going to get something that's different in terms of a zombie film. And I think, and it's a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It's not perfect. It has little sort of logic flaws and gaps here and there, but other than that, I thought it was really good, and it's really enjoyable. Definitely one of last year's most underrated films, and I highly recommend everyone to check out. So that's Warm Bodies. And also Kick-Ass 2. Again, another divisive film. People either like this film or they don't. I personally absolutely loved the first Kick-Ass. It made my top 10 films of 2010. And Kick-Ass 2 is not as good as that one, but for what it is, it's still enjoyable. But you could definitely, well, the first film was directed by Matthew Vaughn, and he didn't come back to write or direct this film. He still produced it, but just didn't write or direct it. But when you sort of watch the film, you can definitely tell that Matthew Vaughn's touch is missing from the film. But for the most part, I think the film's writer-director, Jeff Wadlow, did a pretty decent job so far. I mean, did a pretty decent job for this film. It could have been much better, but for what it is, I still enjoyed it, and I could definitely see why some people take issue to it, because the film does try its best to sort of bring that sort of Matthew Vaughn formula, like recapture that tone and feel of the first film. It doesn't quite get there, but I still enjoyed it, and the returning cast do a great job once again. There's a lot of really fun action sequences and sort of darker moments as well that I didn't expect. And also Jim Carrey, like, he's not in the movie much, but he makes the most of his role, and I thought he was really fun as well. So it's a pretty solid film. Could have been much, much better, but it's still enjoyable. I still enjoyed it for what it was. And also Monsters Inc. I haven't seen this movie for about, maybe for a very long time. I'd say probably maybe 10 years or more. I think I saw it about a year or two after it came out in cinemas, and it's one I've been meaning to check out again. I didn't really care much for the recent prequel Monsters University, but Monsters Inc. is a terrific film. I absolutely thought it was just truly wonderful, and it's one I've been meaning to check out again. Hence why I bought it on Blu-ray. But I had to wait until the price went down on this, because I think the price was a little too much. But I'm looking forward to checking this out again, and I'm sort of building up a pretty solid Pixar collection. Well, mostly of the great stuff. Sort of the lesser films I'm sort of leaving out, but I look forward to checking this out and to see if it's just as good as it was the first time. Now, onto my final Blu-ray for this video, and this is, to me, I had to leave to last because this one is pretty epic, and I had to buy this as soon as I heard about it, and that is, almost dropped it, the Hammer Blu-ray collection. Now, this is I believe is an Australian only release, and at the time you can only buy this at JB Hi-Fi, but I think a couple other places are actually selling it now, so you're able to get it. A bit expensive, but I think it's worth buying. This is sort of course, a collection of Hammer Blu-ray horror films. Pretty much all the films that have so far been released are all packed in this collection. And I actually think it's a good idea to probably buy this set if you're thinking about getting any of the Hammer Blu-ray films, because at the moment they're all sort of range between 15 to 20 bucks. And I got this for about, I think 80 or $90. So it has 13 films on it. So I mean, calculate $15 to $20 across 13 films. You can guess that it'd be pretty expensive. So I would suggest to buy this. Like I said, it's got 13 Hammer films on it. In case you're wondering, the films that they have are Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Plague of the Zombies, Quatermass and the Pit, Rasputin, the Mad Monk, The Devil Rides Out, The Mummy Shroud, The Reptile, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, Frankenstein Created Woman, The Quatermass Experiment, and The Witches. So these are 13 films. Each disc is loaded with special features, some more than others, of course. And I think one of the Quatermass films actually has 2 additional films with it. So technically, you get 15 films with this. And as well as for this, you get a bonus DVD which has a documentary called World of Hammer, and as well as other special features. And I had to buy this right away. Interesting enough, I've only seen one Hammer film from this collection, and that was The Devil Rides Out, which I really enjoyed, and I look forward to checking out the rest of the films from the set. I honestly think there will be more big collections of these soon, and I know there's a couple of Hammer horror film Blu-rays that are coming out that weren't a part of this collection, so I assume there'll probably be a volume 2 at some point, so I look forward to getting that as well. If you're a Hammer, so I've only seen a few Hammer horror films, so it's a good idea, and I think it was a good idea for me to buy this so I can get more immersed into them. And this will sit quite nicely next to my Universal Monsters Blu-ray collection. So yeah, so this is my favorite Blu-ray purchase I bought recently, so I look forward to checking the rest of the films out from this collection. Well, that's the end of this video log of my Blu-ray DVD collections. Like I said, there'll be more coming soon because I have tons that I bought over the last 2 months that I do want to share and talk about. So keep a lookout for the next couple of volumes very soon, and let me know what you think, if I made good purchases or bad purchases. But yeah, so keep a lookout for those upcoming videos, and I'll see you all soon. See you, everyone.